Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, Jordan here. Today we're going to be building something a little bit different. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm really excited about it. So today we're going to be working on the Lego city, and we're going to be building a 4 base plate module that is going to help us build our cliff edge, specifically the tunnel entrance for the train. So something a little bit different, something a little bit challenging, and it should be interesting. So this is what we got going on right now. We started working on some of our modules right here that sit on these 16 by 32 base plates, and these modules are going to cover up the raised platform, right? Very cool. A couple different ones there. We've got one with the stone wall or the cement wall, and we've got one that's a MERP wall, or just like a rectangular rock panel wall. Then we have another rectangular rock panel wall here that's nicely detailed. So these are going to sit in here like this. Now, we have to come up with a way to cover up this corner bit of this platform. So as you can see, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, that's for sure. Let me just grab a base plate here. Right here, we have about 4 base plates that this curve sits on. So when you line up one base plate right there, you can see where it goes, and then another base plate back there. But then we have to also bring it over this side as well, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 base plates. So I'm thinking we're going to make one big tunnel entrance there that sits on 4 base plates. And this base plate is going to accommodate this temple and sort of frame this whole area here, and then have a tunnel entrance for the train. Whew, it's gonna be a challenge. Now I'm like running low on pieces, so I'm probably gonna scavenge pieces from this right here. This is an old cliff edge that I had built for the medieval scene, so I'm probably gonna scavenge some pieces from there and use some of those cliff edges, because as you can see, they're already pretty detailed and part intensive, so I might be able to save some labor just by sculpting that to what I need it to be. I know I still want to do something like that in the medieval scene, but we're so far away from creating the medieval scene, I figured I may as well use those efforts over here. So this is how our train track will lay on these 4 base plates. This is sort of how it'll look. So you can see it's 3 studs in here, 3 studs in over there, and that's sort of where it's going to sit. And our rock wall, I think, was inset 4 studs in the other one. So it's going to line up here. Going to have to make some sort of cement wall here, sort of like an arch maybe for the tunnel entrance. Then continue our rock edge here, have it curve, come back this way, and then it's going to have to curve again, as now it would be making its way behind Ninjago City, which would technically be right here. Then we're going to have to throw a bunch of supports and stuff in here so that we can place our temple on top in there. So making some progress here. You can see I've started mills plating this side here and a little bit over here. And I've also started laying some of our rectangular rock pieces, building a solid wall right here using 2x4 and 2x6, facing it with some masonry bricks, thinking we could maybe, get like a man-made archway somehow here, and then build up our cliff edge, which is going to be 4 of these rectangular rock pieces tall. The part constraint is becoming real. I might for sure have to rip that other cliff edge apart. I don't want to though, because it took me a long time to build that. But this is what we've got going on so far. So I've built this tunnel here with like a little lookout on the top with some arches. And then we use the light gray tiles to have a nice accent color there. Don't have any large arches in dark gray. I wish I had one of these. Oops, jeepers. Wish I had one of these. Could sort of make that work maybe. But I don't know, I don't really mind what I've done here for now. We've put some masonry bricks along the edge, and you can see those are carried up onto the lookout there. And then we've got all our rock walls here. So this is the height of the other ones, but I figure once we come over here to Ninjago over here, maybe these things will start being different heights and stuff like that. And then once we get to the point of where we actually place this, we're going to have to build our connection and stuff like that so that it connects to the platform. You can see the back side of it here, just the ugly rock panels, and this train track is going to sit like that there, and it should be able to pass through no problem. They do turn quite wide when they go around corners and stuff like that, so you just got to be careful that you don't build this entryway too tight, but it looks like it's going to be fine. What I'm going to do now is just go place this in the city and just make sure that everything's running smoothly before I continue, because if there's a problem in the end, it'll take longer to fix and longer to build, etc. So we may as well go test fit it. So it actually has to change a little bit. I've decided to reduce it from a 4 baseplate module to a 2 baseplate module. Be a little bit easier to render into this corner here. I guess it just sort of makes more sense like that. Like this will be 2 base plates because technically I don't need a base plate back there, really. I mean, why do I need a base plate back there? Don't really need that, I don't think. And then what I'm going to do is when we take this temple and we want to build it up onto a rock sort of edge, we're going to just build it on a 32 by 32 base plate that sort of connects with this. So there'd be like rocks like that and then sort of come up, and then we'll have to support a platform using like 2x4 bricks or something like that that I can sit on. And then I'll somehow have to join all of this together. But luckily for me, I have lots of 2x4 bricks right now because we took apart the Bricksie wall. So I have like a huge amount of 2x4 bricks. Like it's crazy, right? Like we have 2x bricks for days. Like it's ridiculous. So when I need to support plates over there to extend that platform, it shouldn't be a problem because as you can see, I've got 2 big Rubbermaid totes full of 2x bricks. So I think it's better to have the platform as their own little modules. And then like if anyone, like then if I want to render something, I can just do it to that individual piece. It's not one big chunk. And then it's also easier to transport. And if I ever have to make changes, well, the changes are easily made to a smaller piece of Lego, right? So I guess I can bring this back to the table over there and we can continue building this up and make it flush with that and make it flush with this. And then, I guess I made this a little bit taller here, right? Is that going to be optimal? Probably. We could probably make that a little bit taller and maybe make the cliff edge leading up to the temple the same, and maybe have this all mountainous in here with different heights, maybe like a creek running down and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be a project that's going to take quite some time, but I'm happy that we've got the tunnel sort of going here. What's going on there? Did I lose some height there? You can sort of see that. Oh no, it's just leaning forward. Okay, or leaning backward, never mind. I do want to try and improve my archway there. Just got to get some dark bluish gray arches, but I don't really have any. I was showing you that one earlier, the light bluish gray one, but maybe go over to my arch drawer here. Maybe ones like this would work, right? Just a couple of those. But I've searched, and I've searched, and I've searched, and I don't have any. I got white ones. Not much at all. Very surprising that I don't have those in dark gray. Got brown, so I build trees out of. Ooh, those are even bigger, aren't they? Are those bigger than the ones I was just looking at? Yeah, the biggest ones of these, that's what I would use. As big as possible in these. Then we can extend our archway to be as big as we want it to be. And yes, I know, this is really starting to get to me here. There's 2 curves there, another curve there, and also 1.5 straights, a turnaround point right there, a bunch of one-ways over here, and another curve right there. I should probably pause cliff building and prioritize building roads. Maybe I'll get Jose to do it when she gets home. I'm glad that we decided to reduce the size of the module because you know what, it's getting pretty big and bulky, right? Definitely. You can see we completed this side here and we made it the same height as these rectangular rock pieces on top of the tunnel. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, for now, that's all I can really do. I don't have enough slopes to detail all of this. Of course, we're going to cover this thing with slopes. That looks pretty cool, hey? Oh yeah, I'm digging it. Okay, the only problem though, I'm going to have to cover up some of the color. However, once it's shaded, like, you know what I mean? Once it's shadowed, because this is all going to be covered, you probably won't be able to see in there very far. It's just because all the light is coming through. But once this is all covered, I doubt you'll be able to see in there like you can right now. But yeah, that's looking pretty sweet, eh? Woo! Fired up on that. A little bit of trial and error, a little bit of frustration, I won't lie, back when we had to render it, but happy that we decided to reduce the platform for sure, or reduce this module for sure, because now it's working out pretty smoothly. Now, when I put the temple in the corner there, maybe, just maybe, it shouldn't be going upward. That's the cliff. Maybe this should be tapering off downward, and the temple should be lower. But then how am I going to cover up the edge of the platform right over there? Maybe we don't need that gap. Maybe I can slide these modular buildings over, and then we just fill that in with Lego. And maybe the whole platform should have been extended all the way out over here. Maybe the platform has to move. I don't know. That's just the thing, though. When you're working on stuff like this, there's so much trial and error and building and rebuilding and just sort of making it work with the space. But I'm glad that everything is modular, because it just makes sense that this can move and this can move, so that I'm not stuck redoing a huge section if and when I make a mistake. One thing I will say, though, this section that we're working on right here with like the temple and this corner and the train over or tunnel is definitely the hardest section. These sections over here are going to be really easy because they're essentially all going to be the same. There's going to be a few transitional sections to transition from the rocks to the cement, but it's going to be easy to build. This is definitely the trickiest section, and that's why I'm spending so much time trying to build it today, thinking about it. But then also, once we get back here and these mountain ranges going along the back, those are going to be, I think, easier than this. They'll probably be more part intensive. Nope, about the same, I'd say. But this is definitely the most complex section for all of the rock work that we're doing here in the Lego City. Maybe, just maybe, it would be cool to have the temple up there, actually. Like up here, right? And then down here, I could position these little, like, merchant shacks that came with the temple. That might be cool. And have those below. But what I think I need to do is do what I'm already doing right here and build a bunch of these pillars. You can see those pillars are going to support the platform. I could actually use Duplo. I'll have to go pull my Duplo out of the garage. I don't know if I have any left. I think I used it all on my Disney platform. But yeah, just building 2x4 brick pillars, and that should support this right here. If I put like one in each corner and then put the rock edges all around it, then the rock edges could come up and around it. We could position the temple on there. I don't know, though. Before I commit to doing that, I sort of want to give it some thought. It's coming along, though. I think that's sort of what I want to do. Then we'll have to create some sort of trail going up, and I want to make some sort of trail going to here. I don't know why I put this here. Either that or just demolish that and make it so it's not a lookout. Also, I have to tack this in so these bricks are sort of built into it. Shouldn't be hard to do, though. Just take a couple bricks off and figure that out. But yeah, I think maybe the temple should go at that height. I've decided that I'm probably going to sleep on that project there, and I've shifted into road building. In addition to building some roads, I think I'm going to take the time to clean up our entire area here, because I've got parts everywhere. I've got trains on this table. We've got bins everywhere. We've got all sorts of stuff underneath here. I mean, obviously, the Lego room has gone through some serious changes as of late, so there's stuff everywhere. So I think we're going to take the time to clean everything up, build these roads, and just tidy up and get ready for, you know, making more changes here in the Lego City. Sometimes you just got to, like, sit back and be like, all right, let's clean this up. Let's get fresh, like a fresh mind, and then let's resume building. It always feels good to clean up. I just freed up all of those green plates right there. It also makes it a little easier to build road plates as well. And my desk is immediately a mess again. Typical. These things take a lot of parts to build. Holy smokes. But we finally have the parts so we can do the rounded curb there. And I think that curve looks pretty good. Not bad. So we're building 4 of them. I've got pretty much 2 done. 2 more to go. The 4 curves are officially done. So for the most part, all of our roads are done now, and they look really good here in the Lego City. It's almost time for us to add detail to like Pop Culture Street here, and probably to the modular buildings. Oh look, the train is coming through the tunnel for the first time. Did it make it? It Made it. Yes. Perfect. Beauty. It's going to come around. Let's get that close-up of that train going through that tunnel. I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, one other road that we have to work on is this turnaround right over here. It's going to be 1.5 plates, but I want to mills plate all of this stuff over here, all of these little modular buildings before I build that, just so I know what it's going to look like. Because those curves, oh my gosh. I think I spent, like, I had to like reteach myself how to do it, but I think I spent an hour and 40 minutes roughly. But of course, after you build one, it becomes a little easier, right? So there we go. Pass through there, no problem. Might have to change some of the coloring of the stuff in there, but like I was saying earlier, once we put the top on and it's shadowed, you probably won't really see that. So I guess I'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? But yeah, really hyped on how the Lego City is looking. Completing those curves right there specifically really elevated the look of it. I guess I should probably get some that aren't crosswalk. I only have these with cross, but you can actually get them from Lego City sets so that they're not crosswalk. So I can replace one of those. I'm actually just spotting that for the first time right now. That's hysterical. Yeah, I'll have to work on replacing that as well. You can hear a little bit of noise there. That's because the height difference. So all I have to do is just make it a little more eased off. The height difference going from the ballast track to the standard RC track, also the base plate. So that's why it's making that noise there. I'll just have to just taper it off a little more by sticking some plates underneath that RC track, and then we'll get that figured out. But yeah, I got to decide what we're going to do with our temple here. If we're going to raise it up, put it at that height there, or if I'm going to put it down closer to the water, or maybe it goes over there. I don't know. Maybe this shouldn't even be happening. Maybe this should just be an extension of this platform up here where the modular buildings are. Maybe this should just be a park. Maybe the temple belongs over there. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't really want to rush into it. Put all this time and energy into building the section behind this to accommodate the temple when I just got to think about it. It's just a process, right? Everything's a process, I find, and if you rush into it, you make mistakes. But yeah, this is actually pretty cool how these are all their own little modules, and of course the Lego train's going around beautifully. We got the roads all built up, and I'm ready to detail probably this table over here, and then we're also ready to fix up these roads over here and start building, you know, our boatyard and stuff like that. Just slowly but surely over time. Got to build more panels here too to cover up the platform, right? I also cleaned up down here, so this is looking pretty fresh. All that stuff's been parted out and put away. Well, it's underneath that table there, but all organized and stuff. Because when we do our under table scenes, we're probably going to start with these two tables right over here. That's really about it for today. A little Lego room vlog. I cannot believe it. I started at 10 and it is now like 7 o'clock. Like I can't believe how long it took to do that. I also had a meeting, like a LAN meeting. I also had, what the heck else was it? Oh, I had a meeting with an insurance company for life insurance. A bunch of other stuff too, but yeah. That's really about it. Guys, remember to smash the thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and stay tuned for some more great stuff. Thanks for popping on by. Farewell.